Hello there and welcome back to That Park Place. My name is Vash Sky and coming in very pixelated. I do apologize, but hey, you know what? We have some amazing news that we have to bring with you. Well, to bring it properly, we have Erika and MJ talking about Dana Walden, Josh D'Amaro, and Bob Iger. Who is going to be the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company? Is Bob Iger just going to take the slot again? I don't think so. But we got to talk about the CEO race, guys, because it is heating up and we're in kind of the final stretch here as we get into 2026. And as we know, that's when they should announce something. We'll see if they actually do. That Park Place Dana Walden doesn't appreciate being pit against my colleagues in Disney's CEO race. This by Marvin Montanaro, December 16, 2025. As the race to replace Bob Iger intensifies, speculation about Dana Walden becoming Disney CEO is no longer confirmed to industry whispers. Walden herself has now gone on the record offering pointed comments that demonstrate just how fraught the Disney succession process has become, and why many observers see the company's leadership pipeline as emblematic of deeper problems at the studio. In a wide-ranging interview with Bloomberg's The Circuit with Emily Chang, Walden, the co-chair of Disney Entertainment, addressed both the CEO race and Disney's recent handling of the Jimmy Kimmel controversy. While framed diplomatically, her remarks reveal a company struggling to manage optics, internal dynamics, and public trust at the same time. So she was asked specifically about how she feels about being pit against her colleagues when it comes to like Josh D'Amaro, for example, or Jimmy Pitaro, or Alan Bergman, I guess, for this CEO succession process. And she said this, quote, "Well, being pit against my colleagues, I don't appreciate because we have incredible relationships and we have a tight organization," Walden said. See, here's the thing about that quote. You might think, well, okay, she's just being nice, and she's being Disney nice, as they say in the C-suite over there at the Burbank lot. But here's the issue that I have. This is going to be one of the most competitive, jobs in the world, in that you are leading a company that is competing with some huge technology companies like Netflix, for example, or Amazon. You are trying to carve out your space, not just with broadcasting, not just with linear, not just with theatrical, but also streaming. It is going to be an incredibly incredible environment. And so it just seems like to me that Dana Walden, if she can't handle this CEO race now, what is she going to be like in the big chair right there, maybe with that 2-shower office that Bob has? MJ, Erika, your thoughts?
Go ahead, Erika. Tell them how you really feel.
I'm chewing on this. I'm sorry, I just don't like any of them. I don't think any of them can toe the line for the Walt Disney Company. But if this is who we have as our front runners, yeah, I think you have a point there, Vash. If she can't handle this kind of stress, and I'm sorry, but isn't this kind of pitting? Hasn't that been a thing?
Yes. Yeah.
It's there. It always has been, and it's just part of corporate life. The higher up you go, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's part of welcome to your career choice. Welcome to where you're at. And you're in the industry you work in. Now that said, my concern is, I guess she's got a lot of experience with television, but
right.
the parks, from what we've been reporting, that is their bread and butter. And we are all park lovers. We're all theme park enthusiasts. So,
of course,
I don't know what she'd do at the parks. I don't know her at all in that regard. So it's kind of scary.
It's interesting because she actually have some comments about the parks, which I thought was a little bit odd. Here you go. Let me go ahead and put this on screen right now. Boardwalk Times, Dana Walden on the future of Disney Entertainment Division. Quote, "I think it's a lot of things that we're doing right now, understanding the consumer, being able to personalize experiences, building out our technology product, creating features that are, again, unique to this IP that will delight people in the same way they are delighted when they go to our parks." I think this is a very interesting quote because it's like, how does she exactly know what delights in the parks currently? Yes, she has been seen, I will admit, with Bob Iger touring Disneyland Paris, and I believe their new Avengers Campus installation that had been installed while Bob Iger was away and Bob Chapek was the CEO. But her experience in the parks, I would suspect, is very limited versus Josh. He's a parks guy. He's been there for many years.
Yeah.
And he's the head of consumer products as well. And I think
I've
Josh
been seeing him a lot in the parks, D'Amaro. And he's visiting Epic a lot too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. And he understands that world. He understands that dynamic, but also too, as the head of consumer products, he understands what sells. He understands like what is marketable, even from the film perspective. This is something, an advantage that JPEG had that nobody really gave him credit for. But he understood, like, okay, well, if I have two toys on the shelf, and one of them's, maybe Chris Evans playing Captain America, and one of them's Anthony Mackie playing Captain America, one's going to sell over the other. And
Yeah.
and so how does that inform your decision making? How does that inform your contracts that you actually sign with talent? How does that inform where these franchises are headed to? That's a distinct advantage that the consumer products role affords somebody coming into the CEO versus Dana Walden. I just don't know if she understands the Disney product on that level, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think Josh D'Amaro's trying to learn. I think he's just trying to put his face out there as much as possible in the theme parks. If I had to put a bet on anybody, it would be Josh.
Yeah.
He's got to bring it and bring it all the way and deliver. I can't put my bet on Walden. And
Well,
I don't even know enough about her. She's not
Exactly.
somebody that, yeah. It's like,
We just don't know her. Or
yeah.
we haven't heard anything of her up until she just kind of came out of nowhere when I was like a year ago. All of a sudden, she was like in the run. We thought that was Iger was like propping her up, and then
Mhm.
it was like before the elections. They were propping her up or whatever because they thought
right,
all that political stuff was going down,
right.
and then that didn't happen. So that's the only thing I know of her. Meanwhile, you got Demaro, who he's been the face of the parks for years.
Yeah.
So we've seen what he brings to the table. Whether we agree or disagree with what he's bringing to the table is another conversation. But he's definitely not he's not inexperienced when it comes to the parks. And as far as products go, whoever's making those decisions is doing a good job because they got my money for Christmas and Halloween merch.
It
Yeah,
sure
well,
did.
that's true. I
I
mean, and
mean,
Josh D'Amaro would be head of consumer products that would lead the teams to bring that Christmas merch to fruition right there, and well, also holiday merch in general. But I look at that quote from Dana Walden, and it's like, well, being pitted against my colleagues, I don't appreciate it because we have incredible relationships, we have fun working together. Anything that is a distraction from that is unfortunate, and it's like that is disqualifying to me. Look, this isn't employee of the month. Okay, this isn't best barista. This is going to be one of the most important and most significant roles in the entertainment industry, right? I mean, you're going to be working alongside some of the most powerful people in the world and working with them, competing against them, right, in order to both push your product and establish relationships with your peers, with others in the space, maybe others in the technology sphere and so forth. You have to be able to compete at this level. And I just think it's disqualifying when you can't even compete amongst yourselves in Burbank, because guess what? The world's bigger than the studio lot. It is very cutthroat. And as we've seen from like Chapek and what happened to him, as we've seen with some of the others, the contemporaries in this space, it is extremely competitive, and you got to be on the ball. So I just don't know if Walden, in my opinion, is ready for this big seat right here. So I'm putting my bet on Josh D'Amaro. This is what I'm going with right there. Any other thoughts, guys?
When they did that commercial or advertisement, whatever you want to call it, for Abu Dhabi, I can't even say it right. You saw Josh D'Amaro right next to
Yes.
Iger,
Yeah.
and I didn't see any
yeah,
sightings of Walden there. I feel like
there's
if
a
she was
reason for
really
that.
gonna have her, feet cemented as I see Josh right here, and then her, like, I really think that even Iger is pushing more for Josh to take over the reins, because he knows that he could just be like over, he's not going to go away as soon as, let's say, Josh does become CEO. Iger's not going to go away anytime soon. We all know that. He
I don't
needs
think
to
so.
make sure he's getting credit for whatever's going on under his reign.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the one CEO that I really nominate for this continuance is the Grinch. I think he would do a much better job.
Yeah, I actually don't entirely disagree with that, because internal candidates and setting up for long time, I don't know, establishments of people's tenures inside the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company needs a shakeup, not the status quo. And so it's like, at least the Grinch will give you that, that's for sure. But just, speaking seriously, I think not giving external candidates their due might be the wrong way to go in this particular aspect. But we want to go ahead and hear from you, that being the comment section out there, on what you think about Dana Walden's comments and how you think the CEO race will actually transpire. Will Josh Morrow get the big seat there, or will Dana Walden get the corner office with the 2 showers? I don't know. Let us know what you think about what's going on right here. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Go ahead and, like I said, provide that comment. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.